All right, man. Torture Talk. Like, share, subscribe to the page. This is the 12 o'clock show. Happy noon to everybody. Hey, man, look, so today we're going to be talking about your boy Drizzy Drake. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about, is it completely over for him? A lot of people are saying that he flopped. A lot of people saying this is the end. Yeah, so we're going to watch a video and all that good stuff. Before I get into that, I got to get my spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing if you're not subscribed. All the beautiful ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. They called me the hidden gem. I went from 1,300 subscribers to almost 9,000. Excuse me. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content, and that's free. So if you want to leave a donation, you can. Links on the screen. You don't have to leave a donation. You being here is good enough for me. Over here, we agree to disagree, or we just agree, or we just disagree. Whatever. But we don't argue, fight over here. We just have a great time. So, all right, man, 12 o'clock show. So let's get into it, man. Is it completely over for Drake? All that good stuff. And yeah. So let's get to it. Let's do it. Do it now. All right, so this comes courtesy of Fantastic Hip Hop. You know what time it is with him, so let's go.
Now, no matter what else seems to be happening within and around the hip-hop world, and who may be getting the negative attention at the moment, it does not stop Drake from stooping lower and lower into this downward spiral that has defined every single moment of his career ever since he decided to underestimate Kendrick Lamar, as even months after this beef and in a time where the dust has been settling and the hip-hop world has been trying to pick up the pieces and make sense of what this genre-altering feud meant for everyone involved in and around it, Drake is still standing outside in the midst of all of the ruins that have came down on him, and instead of trying to rebuild what was...
So I always looked at this part right here as the humble part, even though Kendrick did it way before, but this definitely reminds me of humble. It's saying dun, 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 and Kendrick had all the ball heads around him. But anyway, yeah, man, we might be witnessing the beginning of the end. I know a lot of people saying it, but I'm standing on that. The sky's not the same, and I think that his cultural influence, his stranglehold that he had on it is opening up now and starting to slip away.
Destroyed of his. He is just throwing around the remains of his pathetic reputation and the laughable state of his career, because recently, Kendrick Lamar's words on tracks like Euphoria and Meet the Grams have never been more true, because more than ever with what Drake just did, he is crashing out to new levels, and because of the failure of his latest move, it's causing him to look even more pathetic than usual, which is saying a lot in this moment in time, because with Drake and what he is doing right now, he isn't just making Kendrick Lamar look like he had a crystal ball during their beef with just how shockingly real the story Lamar put into place is becoming, but Drake the man, artist, and brand has never been in a worse place, because as Drake released his 100GB drop of content that flooded the internet and tried to make people reminisce over when they actually liked the guy, which of course, while blowing up social media when Drake did drop all of these videos of his studio sessions and so much other lost media, well, everyone talked about it for a few days. It did not change the fact that Not Like Us is still near the very top of the charts, and speaking of the charts, Drake has officially lost the one thing he still thought he had control of over Kendrick's head, as with this 100GB drop, as he of course gave us 3 new songs, including collabs with hot and popular names like 21 Savage, Young Thug, and Lotto, as these songs have officially finished their first weeks of being commercially released. What we have found out from these collabs is something that even I was shocked by, as with all 3 of these new records, which of course are Drake's first new releases as a leading artist since the Kendrick beef.
Yeah, let's be clear here. This is all after the beef. I don't care if people say, well, these songs was already recorded. It doesn't matter. They were already recorded. They were already recorded.
They were already recorded. I don't understand why y'all hating on the kid. It was already recorded. So y'all could cut the bullshit because it was already recorded. It was already recorded. You know what I'm saying?
So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just saying. shit is bullshit, and we gonna check this video out because he getting right to it.
3-pack of songs has flopped miserably, and while they all did make it onto the charts, even a track with the star power of Young Thug, 21 Savage, and Drake combined only led to the record charting at number 28 on the Billboard Hot 100, and with the other tracks Drake put out, they didn't even crack the top 50, with his Lotto song barely even getting on the chart at all. And now with all this said, a song such as Not Like Us is still charting way higher than these records after months of being out. And like that with Kendrick, Future, and Metro Boomin is still one of the biggest and most stable hits of the year, and even on top of this, Euphoria, which is a 6-minute masterclass of straight bars, is still on the Hot 100. So with all of this, and the failure of 3 different Drake songs where he is revisiting 3 completely different sounds that all in the past gave him some high charting hits in their own respect, we are seeing right now that not just in the hip-hop world or because of the instant reaction to a moment, but on the biggest scale that measures the relevance of music, Drake's newer music is not piquing the interest of people to even check it out enough for it to make a massive debut, and instead of running to what he was doing in the past, which as we can see from not just his albums or major singles, but from surprise EPs like Scary Hours 2 or his Championship Pack. All of those songs in the past all dominated the charts just from being new music.
That's 100%. This is what y'all not understanding. Drake was dropping shit and it would go to number 1, or he'll dominate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. His whole album would be in the top 10. He would take the whole top 10. Now this guy is not even cracking top 20, and y'all telling me that he hasn't lost nothing? It's not a problem. Nothing's going on. Are you kidding me? This is the same guy that was dominating the charts like y'all said. Now he's not even cracking the top 20. Like, y'all got to understand what y'all saying. This guy's not cracking the top 20, but y'all telling me that this guy is the GOAT. He's the greatest to ever lived. He's you know, Jesus Christ on a Harley, doing willies. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you're saying. It is, I don't understand it. It's crazy.
Drake. But now people don't even care to hear what he is going to do next, which is genuinely insane and is showing the entire world that Drake's armor has been crushed and that not just his reputation and status have been crumbled, but by his commercial power, he is no longer the force that he once was. And I'd even go as far to say that there are now multiple rappers who've moved past him in terms of being dominant commercial forces with ease. But now as Drake's new music has failed, and other rappers from not just Kendrick Lamar, but even veterans like Eminem and even Travis Scott are outshining Drake with their streaming numbers and touring performances, Drake is scrambling and spiraling out quicker than ever. And now because of this, Drake seems like he wants to punish us even more, as he's already getting ready to release even more music, as it has been confirmed through the grapevine of strange individuals that stay around him to say the very least, that his track Super Soak, which is a cut that Kai Cenat previewed, has gotten cleared, and there will be a music video coming forward very soon. But now as this is on the radar of Drake's next release, and following the release and comparative failure of 100 gigs, beyond Drake's declining numbers and inability to take just...
So he's doing a video to Super Soak, and he cut Yachty off the song. And this is why Yachty and him ain't fucking around no more. That's crazy. That's crazy.
A few weeks off after this beef as he tries to cope with the reality of what happened. We are seeing something that is much more shocking and even sadder from him, which is now at this point, Drake is so deflated and distraught from the storm of negativity that has been clouding him ever since the Kendrick Lamar beef that he doesn't even believe in his ability to resonate with his listeners in an organic way. And because of this, he's no longer able to deliver music with the same bravado and demeanor he once did, because with all of his new music, we have seen something from Drake that is so sad and humiliating, which is that he no longer has any speck of confidence in himself left, because if he did, he wouldn't be leaking these songs intentionally to see if people responded to them and then giving them full-on commercial releases, because with what Drake is doing, all integrity and creativity is thrown out the window, as he is pretty much screening these songs to see if they will help his diminishing reputation, and as it stands...
That's true. Everything he's doing is just a screen. And I think he thinks that Super Soak is going to do something. If he's dropping a video, I don't know if he's going to, people saying that. But if he's doing a song and he's dropping a video to this, song, I don't know what he's gonna do. I don't know how he's gonna color this. I really don't. I honestly think that Drake has ran out of ideas. I think he has ran out of a bunch of stuff, and whoever's surrounding him, his writers and all of, they just don't know what to do because they never experienced anything like this. I think they were so used to winning all the time that they never experienced this type of level of defeat, I should say.
The people still supporting him are praising them just like anything else he does. He is believing that these are actually good songs to release and cuts that will shift the tides, and no matter how you spin it. This method of releasing music just shows such a lack of confidence, which is so embarrassing. And I mean, if we put all this into perspective, right now Drake is purposefully leaking his music to read the room on it, and then in addition to this, all of these tracks that he has been leaking have been sitting in the vault for a few years. So now with this, we are seeing that Drake doesn't just lack the confidence to determine on his own what is going to resonate with people and what won't, but we also can see that he doesn't even know where to go or what to do creatively anymore because he is relying on the remnants of everything he did before this beef to save his reputation, as opposed to looking himself in the mirror and trying to actually take the next steps forward. And as long as Drake
does exactly what I just said, he don't know what to do creatively anymore. He has ran out of ideas. You know what I'm saying? And he's so used to making hits or trying to make hits that he can't even just do a regular song. He could just do a regular rap song. You know what I'm saying? And people probably would appreciate it or they probably would like it. But to him, it has to make sense. I don't know what it is. To him, it has to make sense because it has to make money. If it doesn't make money, it don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Instead of him going for it, and I think that this is another thing that Drake is very weak at. Drake is very weak at doing subject matter songs. I don't think he has any songs that have a focused subject matter. I think most of his songs is cookie cutter around normal talk and about certain things. So, for example, like mildly talking about relationship topics and talking about heartbreak and stuff like that. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of this stuff is therapeutic to some people. It couldn't be used in certain instances, but for the most part, if you are more intelligent than the average person, or if you say you're more intelligent than, I ain't gonna say average, but you don't have to be more intelligent than the average person. You just be a little intelligent. You can see that it's just a psyop. This is just something that he's just throwing together. But a lot of people, they like him so much that they feel like they a part of what he's saying, even though they don't have no examples to show you that they're a part of what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff Drake raps about to certain people, it's important because I feel as though they feel like it makes it like it's important, but it's really not. A lot of the stuff that he's talking about is just normal stuff. Like, oh, my girl broke my heart. Like, oh, my heart was broken too. My heart was broken too, and I understand exactly what he's talking about. It's like, okay, anybody could have said that. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it going.
does this and keeps digging into the past as he drops tracks that he never intended to release, all in the hope that people are reminded of the Drake before this beef. He is going to continue to fail because even before this beef for the past few years, despite all of the great bangers and moments that Drake still had occasionally, when it comes to the majority of the stuff he was putting out, the quality was already way gone, and what he was doing was only getting the boost it did because of the namesake and star power of the Drake brand and not because of the actual body of work itself. So now with all of this going on, this is where we really start to see how genius Kendrick's
I just don't, me personally, let me run this back a little bit. I just don't see how anybody can take this serious. I don't care who's on this song. Look at this. I, I I just can't see how you can take these guys serious as serious artists or rappers. You know what I'm saying? Even though I fuck with Future, but this is some bullshit. I ain't gonna lie. This right here is goofy. This is goofy. You know what I'm saying? This is goofy. That's goofy. You know what I'm saying? I just don't I don't get it. It's goofy. I ain't gonna lie, it's goofy. You know what I'm saying?
all of this going on. This is where we really start to see how genius Kendrick's entire playbook in this beef has been, and really why he has not done anything since releasing the Not Like Us music video, because just by waiting around and letting everyone digest what went down, Kendrick doesn't even have to do any work anymore because Drake is proving his agenda to be more than correct every single day. And as Drake has tried to pivot away from—
And that's crazy to see. It's crazy to see that Kendrick came and he dropped 4 joints and he hasn't said nothing after that. Drake has dropped 8 to 9 songs, I believe, about 8, 9 songs. And what happened? They went nowhere. They went nowhere. This guy, Kendrick, did 4 joints and ain't say nothing since. Ain't say nothing since. Did a video, did the pop-out concert, ain't say nothing after that. Drake just kept going. I'm going on a vacation. No, you're not, nigga. And look at this. Look at this. You see? It's this is what I mean. Like, this is exactly what I've been talking about. About Kendrick is such a better artist than Drake. And I think people are so high up on Drake's popularity that they just automatically put him in this category, even if most of the songs that they listen to is not even rap songs. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Kendrick and all the drama surrounding his name by saying that he was going to be focusing on giving us summer vibes months ago, and now seeing that he is not at a single successful moment despite releasing 10 tracks in some shape or form. Drake has just never looked worse from releasing some of the most humiliating music we have ever seen come from a star after a major rap beef, and now with all of this, as we are looking at an artist who literally does not even have the ability to create new music that he thinks is good to release to the public, and now is relying on milking the crevices of his vault in a desperate attempt to try and win fans back. Beyond just the bad features and responses Drake had to Kendrick right after the beef ended, while those were embarrassing, they did not come close to reaching this level of failure. Because when you break down everything about Drake right now, from this weird release strategy of putting out older music in hope that it will win people back, to the fact that the formerly most number-driven artist in the entire streaming era can't even get a single song of his to chart in the top 20, which after so many number ones and top 10 hits that were driven to their success just from their namesake alone, we have officially seen Drake's biggest nightmare become a reality.
The thing is, too, people got to understand, everybody falls from grace. I don't understand why people thought that Drake wasn't never going to fall off. I don't. I'll be honest with you. It probably wouldn't have happened, or at least the mentality of it wouldn't have happened, if Drake never battled Kendrick. If Drake never battled Kendrick, it probably would have took a little bit longer for this to happen. But I think once he battled Kendrick, because people always saying, well, the reason why Kendrick is successful is because of Drake. And I say to them, no. Kendrick Lamar has always been successful. He always had songs that charted. Like, he's always been that guy. It's just that when he battled Drake, it put him in a different space. He invaded Drake's space and took over. You have to say that because Drake hasn't charted, and Not Like Us is still there. You know what I'm saying? So this we got to understand. And honestly, it was only 3 songs on. 3 songs were on the Hot 100. Not Like Us, Euphoria, Meet the Grams. So since it was only 3 songs there, you know what I'm saying? I believe Meet the Grams is not up there no more, but Not Like Us, or we'll say 4, because we're talking about Like That. That's still in the top 20, top 21 or whatever. But Kendrick Lamar has put himself in a different space because he invaded Drake's space. See, Drake ain't do nothing. This battle exposed Drake, and he hasn't gained anything. If you ask me, he actually lost shit. And people say, oh, well, Drake is the same. He's not the same, because if he was the same, whenever he dropped any song, he would have dominated the charts again. Drake's name rings bells. His name rings bells, and he hasn't done anything. So that just goes to show you right there where it's at.
more than ever. His brand is crumbling like we have never seen before, and now with 10 flops in a row. I think it's safe to say that this rock bottom that Drake is at is worse than any of us could have ever imagined. So now with all this said, let me know, what do you think of Drake's downfall hitting this bad to the point where he is putting up career low numbers, and of this strategy where he is trying to deceive us into liking him again? I can't wait to hear what you have to say. And now if you want to see how more drama in the rap world is brewing,
Yeah, man. 10 flops in a row. I don't think Kendrick Lamar has any flops. And you know the irony of this? He was saying your last shit bricked. And it didn't. And I think that Kendrick is in such a place right now that he exposed hip hop to what's real hip hop. And he let everybody know that hip hop is 100% alive when he's around. And you know the crazy thing is, before Mr. Morale and Big Steppers, he took 5 years to drop an album. Then after that, he didn't do anything for 2 years, and he came out with Like That. Verse shook up the rap game. Every time Kendrick Lamar does anything, this is why he's the greatest. Because every time he does something, it's a big deal. Every time. So Kendrick ain't do nothing. Kendrick gonna do something now. It's gonna be a big deal. Everybody's gonna be all over it. Whatever he does. When he dropped the joint with Baby Keem, big deal. Anything he does, it's a big deal. Everything Drake does is not a big deal. It's not. At least not no more. He did 10 tracks, 10 tracks. And nobody knows. Nobody cares. He's trying to convince people to like him still. Nobody really fucks with him like that no more. That's just that. So either way, man, y'all have yourself a good afternoon. I'm out of here. 6 o'clock show is coming up. You know what it is. See y'all. Peace. Bye.